let me talk about future verb forms. Something to keep in mind is even if it's 1 second in the future or 100 years in the future, it is still future. So for example, if I say, I'll take that, I'm going to use the future form. And I'm going to talk about two in particular, will and verb be plus going to. What's important to keep in mind is that they are followed by an infinitive verb, and an infinitive verb just means that it's not conjugated. So you only need to use will and an infinitive verb, or be conjugated with the subject and going to plus the infinitive verb. I want to show you when we actually use these verb forms. So here, if we have a future prediction, we would use both of these. If it is a future event, we would use both of them. If it's a spontaneous response, however, it's only will. Because if I say, anybody want to go to Starbucks? And you say, sure, I will. You thought of it just at the last moment. So that would make more sense to say rather than, sure, I'm going to go. That would be weird. And if there's a planned action, you would use going to. Of course, it's very possible that you could use the planned action to mean a future event or something like that. But in general, there are some cases where you would only use one or the other, especially the spontaneous one. Let's have a look in some sentences to see what would work and what would not work. Here we have some sentences. And let's take a look. I'm going to put, oh, by the way, if it is will that goes there, just know that you can equally use be going to. So you would have to conjugate you and be together, of course. So you are going to do well in my class. In fact, that works. And you will do well in my class. Why does that work? Because for me, it's a future prediction. How about we have an exam? Well, we will have an exam. That works for me. We are going to have an exam. That works as well. Why do the two work? Because it is a future event. If I invite you to go to Café Chez Rose on break, you'd probably say, I'll go, or I will go to Café Chez Rose. That would be a logical response. That is a spontaneous response, and that works for that one. If Kevin visits his cousin, I would say probably Kevin is going to visit his cousin. And even for Ariane, Ariane is going to order pizza tonight. Why? Because those two are planned actions. So there are certain functions that we have. We have a spontaneous response here. We have a future event here. And we have a future prediction here. So these all work, but they have different future forms that we would use.